Last one we got for you, Lena. This Trump administration, we knew it was bad. And we knew, as Black people, we always knew what the dog whistle was. And they would swear up and down, him and haw, yeehaw, that we ain't know what we was talking about. Well, Lena, they just outright with the racism now. Take a look at how Chris Murphy, good senator, asked a white nationalist that works with Trump just to find what it is that separates white people. This dude couldn't give him a straight answer. Take a look at this.
Here he is. This is just a Sunday for Elon on X. For a country to survive, there has to be a common culture. Nobody dies to defend a multicultural economic zone. American culture, with its English, Scots, Irish origin, is great and worth fighting for. Some may not realize it, but it's why people come here. Okay. A ton of people died for a multicultural country. A ton of people died in World War I and World War II for other cultures. And this type of xenophobia, racism, Nazism is so pervasive in the MAGA movement that now they're starting to nominate full-blown white nationalists for key positions. And when these white nationalists are on X and when they're in their silo in the comment section, they've got big balls and they're like, yeah, we're white people and, you know, screw the Muslims, screw the Jews, screw the blacks, screw the immigrants. We want our white culture. When they get outside of that bubble and they have to explain it with their own words, you know, like you say to toddlers, use your words. Here's what happens when a white nationalist gets grilled by Senator Chris Murphy, asking him to use his words. Watch how embarrassed even he is, trying to explain and reaching for his, to rationally explain his Nazi racist ideology. Play the clip.
How you define white identity and what you think is being erased about white identity? Certain types of Anglo derived culture that comes from our history. There's, like what? Let me think about this. You know, Senator, I would say if you were to look at the book by one of your former Senate colleagues, Born Fighting, about the sort of Scotch-Irish military culture and certain, you know, pride that went with that, that would be one example. Obviously, you could have sub-elements of that culture. You could have Italians, you could have Irish, and those are in many ways more. Yeah, but you're worried about white culture. You're not worried about, you're now retreating to ethnic identity. You don't speak about ethnic identity. You speak about white identity. So tell me the values that stitch together white identity and that make it different than black identity. I would say that the white church is very different than the black church in terms of its tone and style on average. Foodways could often be different. Yeah. And those music could be different. And those are being erased. Music could be different. Well, if you look at the Super Bowl halftime show, which was not in English this year. So our ability to access white churches or white food or white music is being erased? I am concerned with the majority common American culture that we had for some time that through particularly mass immigration, I think has become much more balkanized, and I think that weakens us. And again, I'm not running away from that comment. I'm not apologizing for it. Well, I'm way over my time. I think you're struggling to answer this question, right? Because underlying your beliefs is a sentiment that white culture is just simply better.
That's exactly what he wants to say. He just can't figure out the words to say it. Like, even he just shows you that people like him can't think critically. Because if you had the ability to think critically, you could have came up with some answers, but you couldn't, because the only thing you know is white should be on top. Lena, I'm always bothered when white people feel that way. When have they not forgotten that they stole this country from two groups of people? Yeah. Like, let us not forget that y'all really stole it from the queen, who wanted y'all to come here, pillory the place, set up a religion, and bring stuff back to Europe. But when y'all got here, y'all took it from the natives. And it's not like y'all took it because they didn't have technology and thought. Y'all brought diseases that really took them out, that they wasn't prepared for. And now all of a sudden we need to be saving white culture. Literally, what is white culture? Are we talking what part of Europe we talking about? Okay, like I'm not being funny, like literally, when you say white culture, you talking about Italy, you talking about France, you're talking about, making apple pies. What are you talking? None of that is being eroded, folks. They're just sitting up here making up bull job because they just want to be in the seat of power. Lena, what do you think?
I completely agree with what you said. What he is associating, what did he call it with? White pride or whatever it is. He's associating it with power, okay?
Right.
Power, resources, the
Mhm.
ability to control everything, to take what they want and do what they want. That's what he defines it as. And I mean, well, this is what I would define it as from his perspective. That's why when they asked him, he had no references to any European culture. My name is actually Slavic, so I know a lot about Slavic culture and things. So I could have given better examples as a Black woman than he did. He didn't prove his point at all. So this is just to show that people that have ideals like him, they're not based in anything but hatred for other races.
Right, right. And elitism.
Yeah.
The other thing that they preach to their dummies that continue to vote for them, the ones that are toothless and hang from mountains by the gums in West Virginia, those folks that they preach ain't got nothing, that would rather be in a house with a Black person and burn the whole house down just so they can see that the Black person didn't get nothing while their dumb asses is burning down too. Okay, that's what they do. The elites sow that division and make it hard for the people to coalesce and come together to get the things that the people need to thrive. And that's what he wants. That's what they want. They want that type of power. And it's we my ultimate saying we've got to attack the schools. We've just got to continue to Democrats, you've got to fight for history to be taught the way it really was. And that should not be something hard. It shouldn't be. We can't continue to have this propaganda glossed over history where we tell how the settlers came here, they made friends with the natives and had Thanksgiving. It was that simple? Really? Okay, stop it. No, tell the truth. But you know why they don't want to tell the truth, Leah? Because they know more people have sympathy, apathy. They would feel with the plight of marginalized groups, and they would be voting in a way that would help everybody succeed and not just those white dudes that want to be on the top.
True.
And by the way, my name is French. It means the mountain, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, these shoulders, these muscles can hold mountains. That's for sure.